Hello, hello, hello. I think we're live, hopefully. Very warm welcome to everybody. If you're just joining me, sorry for the slight delay. Hopefully, everybody can see me. And just bear with me. There we go. There we go. What day are we on? It's the 24th of March, Sunday afternoon. The sun is trying to peek back out once again. Have we got liftoff? Very warm welcome to everybody. Thanks for clicking on to the 86th edition of the Global Weather and Climate Report. Yeah, just trying to find my feet here, everybody. I do apologise for that. The title says Rain, Hail, Snow for the Canaries. After what was the warmest and one of the driest, if not the driest, winter on record down in the typical sunny Canaries. And well, if it was warmer and drier than average, you would expect it was sunnier than average as well. I've been down in the Canary Islands actually during the winter time, and it's actually pretty darn cold, if I'm being honest with you. So, but probably not, particularly sunny at the moment. Rain, wind, hail, and even snow up on top of Mount Teedy, which is quite interesting because there has been no snow recorded during the winter season, and that's the first time since 1916 when that observatory started measuring weather conditions up on the summit of the highest point within the Canary Island archipelago. So some quite interesting things has been going on in recent times. There's 17 concurrent viewers at the moment. We're live here at Marfogan Weather HQ here, just to the north of Inverness in northern Scotland. A very, very warm welcome to everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your Sunday to have a watch and listen to me waffle on for the next 40 or so minutes. So, a very, very warm welcome and greatly appreciate everybody's support. Let me just quickly continue to see what I can do here with regards um, to the live chat here. So just bear with me so I can give you a little shout. It looks as if it's just a little bit slow at the moment, so I do apologise for that. Sunny, like I say, at the moment, trying to come out anyway after cloud cover. It was a nice sunny morning here, and then it clouded over. Some pretty heavy showers, northwesterly winds, pretty chilly in that northwesterly wind. But if you see the wind dropping off and you've got a wee bit of sunshine, you can actually feel quite a nice little bit of warmth in that sun. So yeah. So let's have a quick look and see who's on the live chat this afternoon for, like I said before, the 86th edition of the Global Weather and Climate Report. This is a window for about 40 minutes every Sunday afternoon to look at the weather conditions, not just here locally, UK, Ireland, Europe, but also across the globe. Hence the title of the video being the Global Weather and Climate Report. Thank you very much to Lisa for moderating this afternoon. Greatly appreciate your time, Lisa. I hope you're doing okay. I believe she's got a fractured foot, and she is also on annual leave. So it's typical annual leave, and she breaks her foot. So I hope, Lisa, you are not in too much pain at the moment, and hope you have a speedy recovery with regards to that broken foot. I think it's a broken foot. Very warm welcome to Richard Trott. Thanks for checking out the live stream this afternoon, Richard. Lovely sunny, if not cold day here in the northeast. Third day on the spin this time. Last week it was raining in the caravan in Cheshire. Well, it's sod's law, isn't it, Richard? That it happens to be nice when you happen to be working or back to work. When you're on holiday, especially in the UK, it's typical. You typically find it is the weather is pretty miserable. Very warm welcome to Steffi Adcock as well. Thank you very much, Steffi, for tuning in to the live stream this afternoon. Very warm welcome to Paul James. Thank you also for checking out today's live stream. Hope you folks are doing well wherever you are. And, hopefully we can start to warm things up soon. But it looks as if the models are still holding back a little bit on on the warm weather. Quite often, once you surpass the spring equinox, there is a little bit of a step back in terms of weather conditions. That is quite often the case, I think, anyway. When especially if you get a little taste of warmer weather during the second half or late half of the winter season, I think you typically find a little bit of a fight back in terms of winter conditions. So yes, drop your comments in, folks, and I will try my best to at least attempt to answer some of those questions this afternoon. It is a relaxed environment, a chance where you can interact with myself. I can interact with you and try and answer a couple of questions. I quite enjoy these live streams on a Sunday afternoon because it's just a little bit more personal, a little bit more relaxed instead of the individual uploaded videos through the course of the week. Now I have backed off a little bit. I've taken Saturday afternoon off at this time of the year just to kind of recoup. I also will be taking a week off at the latter half of April, so I'm sure you'll appreciate a little bit of rest and relaxation is required. I do work a full-time job, working night shift, driving up and down the A9 as well, so a little bit busy at times here, but yeah, it is certainly, I can't complain. Life is pretty good if you ask me. So, like I said, answer away. We've got 25 concurrent viewers at the moment. I'm just going to take a little sip of my coffee, very professional. Don't want it getting cold. So, still get carried on at work, but with a space boot on. Never missed a day. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this Sunday afternoon. I believe it's the 24th of March. We're far rattling through the year already. It's actually hard to believe that we're nearly April. Also, there will be a live stream next Sunday. It will be Easter Sunday, so a bit of an Easter special next weekend. If you can check that out. Welcome to John Baxter, Paul Miller. Very warm welcome to you as well. Paul, thank you for taking the time out of your day to tune in to today's live stream each and every Sunday afternoon. If time and schedule prevails, I will try and do a live stream. And if I'm busy, it just simply won't happen. So yeah, plenty of things going on at the moment. Have you got any holiday plans coming up? Certainly, the weather conditions down in the Canaries isn't particularly good after what has been the warmest winter in recorded history down in the Canaries, just off the northwest African coast. But yet we have a weather system down at the moment in this neck of the woods. We've got quite a lot of blocking to the north, so that is kind of rerouting the storm track down into this neck of the woods. We've also got quite unsettled weather down across Morocco, even parts of Algeria, through the Mediterranean. We've got areas of unsettled weather conditions as well. Possible snow for you this week, says Richard Trott. Yeah, it is possible, Richard. We do obviously have an area of low pressure that is going to kind of nudge northwards over the next few days here, and with cold air not that far to the north, it's kind of been drifting south, down through over Shetland, Orkney, into the northern mainland. And if that moisture that's getting lifted north associated with that area of low pressure, well, that could engage with one another to produce snowfall. Now, actually, when I was driving up the A9 early hours of yesterday morning, Saturday morning, there was actually a little bit accumulating snow, even on the road surface. Now, we have had relatively warm conditions in recent times, so it is a little bit harder to get lying snow, especially when it has been reasonably mild. But nonetheless, there is a chance through the course of this upcoming work week to see some snow, even down to possibly relatively low levels. It just depends on how much colder we can get filtering south over the next few days here. Warm welcome to JL as well. Hi, Mark. Really love your channel along with Gav's. Yeah, greatly appreciate JL your support. I'm glad that you enjoy the content here on Marfogan Weather, and also on Gavin Partridge's channel as well. Gav's Weather Vids, a terrific channel. I think he will be live this evening. I think he's also produced his fourth summer update as well, which I'll look forward to checking out later on. We are also going to be talking about the summer in a more tangible way in the coming weeks to come as well as I build the ideas. And there will be a live stream the final Sunday, hopefully the final Sunday of May. I'm going to try and do a live stream and actually release the summer. I was going to say winter, the summer forecast on that live stream. So that should hopefully be pretty exciting. That will be at the end of May, and I'll remind everybody near the time. So that is the rough idea anyway. Over the next few weeks, we're going to start to build the ideas. How strong is this La Nina going to be? Are we going to get an effect, an atmospheric response with the cooling waters anticipated over the eastern portion of the equatorial Pacific? What response could that have? MJO, the warmer than average sea surface temperatures over the Atlantic. We're also going to be looking at the Atlantic hurricane season, which begins on the 1st of June. What implications may we see with that? Rainfall distribution through the rest of spring, that can have an impact in terms of level of soil moisture. Wetter soils sometimes releases more moisture into the atmosphere, and then sometimes incoming solar radiation with a lot of moisture getting drawn out of the ground up into the atmosphere. That sometimes can lead to some of the energy off the sun goes into evaporation as opposed to heating the air. Drier ground, less moisture in the atmosphere, you tend to find that the air it can heat quicker when you've got less moisture. Very warm welcome to Paul Farwell as well. Thanks very much, Paul, for checking out today's live stream. I greatly appreciate that, my friend. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. Good afternoon, Mark. Chilly and breezy in Swindon off to Romania with the wife at the beginning of May for nearly 2 weeks. Beautiful stuff. I've actually had the pleasure of visiting Iași in the eastern corner of Romania. I visited back in October of 2019. Very, very fascinating place, I must say. It was actually during a trip to Moldova. I also entered Ukraine as well and took a trip down to Odessa on the Black Sea coast. Beautiful city, I must admit. Obviously, it's a very different place, sadly, today compared to what it was back in 2019. Yeah, let me just quickly skip through. It's just around about just after 4:15, so we'll get into the charts in just a second here. 28 concurrent viewers at the moment. Thank you very much for tuning in to the 86th edition of the Global Weather and Climate Report. We're going to be looking at Alaska snowfall, potentially Anchorage is going to be pushing for its all-time snowiest year in recorded history. So we are going to look at that. We're also going to look at a remarkable heat index during the course of last week. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil hit a heat index of 62.3 Celsius. Can you believe what that would feel like, by the way? I've been in Texas during the July 1998 heat wave, and I think the heat wave was something like 120 degrees, but it was Rio was recording 144 degree Fahrenheit heat index during the course of the week. Now, actually, all being well, my wife and I are planning to go to Rio in August, but the good thing about it is it's actually their winter time. Now, I know it's not going to be cold, but it's certainly not going to be, hopefully it's not going to be as hot and sticky as what it was during the course of last week here. So it'll be interesting stuff. Very warm welcome to Chris Clifford. Thanks very much, Chris, for checking out the Global Weather and Climate Report live edition today. Thank you very much for taking your time out. Let me just quickly skip through. Mark, was that when you auditioned for Eurovision? Very good. I like it. Is that when I went to Moldova? No. Let's just check here. Jail. Hi, Mark. Really love your. Let me just see. Just don't want to miss anybody on the live chat here before we look at the charts. John Baxter, a lot of sulfur in the atmosphere has got to be included in calculating. I'm assuming that'll be in relation to climate. Can be very difficult. I do apologise if anybody has asked me a question. I do apologise that I've possibly missed your comment because I'm just waffling a load of rubbish at the moment. So just bear with me a second here. Anybody got any questions? Ask me now over the next few minutes. I'll try and address that question, and then we're going to look. We're going to have a look and see what is going on at the moment, both locally but also in a global way as well here. So fire away your comments. I know that there is a very slight delay between me speaking and the live chat as well, so I have to factor that in. But there's 29 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much for checking out. Be sure to like the video, by the way. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying the content. Hopefully you're enjoying the content here on the channel. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe as well. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm hovering at around, I think it's about 6,051 subscribers. The last time I checked, it was that. So I would greatly appreciate it to give a like, share with your friends and family, and also subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Lots of exciting things to come in the coming weeks ahead, looking at the summer, but we're also going to be talking about the winter even in 2024-25. The implications of La Nina. We're in a solar maximum at the moment as well. That's going to be having an impact. Global temperatures are exceptionally warm. There is indication that it is actually starting to slightly moderate. I don't want to get into that too much today because that ends up throwing a spanner in the works and people get upset. Both sides of the argument. So I'm going to try and stay clear of the climate stuff in today's video. A little bit more relaxed, nothing too heavy, and we'll look and see what is going on here. So it's around 4:20 on Sunday, the 24th of March. Welcome if you're just joining here on the live stream today, 86th edition of the Global Weather and Climate Report, and I am going to now start to look into what is going on around the face of the planet. This is, by the way, the next what would this be? So this is the month to date in terms of the 2 meter temperature anomalies here. So this is looking right over the top of the North Pole, and we'll look and see what the temperature anomalies are suggesting here. So very warm actually across the majority of the mid latitudes of the northern hemisphere, as you can see here. Greenland is warmer than average. Most of North America is warmer than average. Most of Europe is also warmer than average at this moment in time here. Very warm welcome to David. Thanks for checking out today's live stream. Hope you're well, and Mum is well down in Kirkintilloch. Struggled to get into the live chat. Lovely spring day here in Kirkintilloch, 12 degrees. Yeah, the temperatures are slightly subdued up here in the far north. So yeah, very warm welcome to David Vogan. Thanks for checking that out. I'm sure most folk can understand who that might be. Happens to be my father, good father. So hope you're well. So yeah, this is the current 2 meter temperature anomalies for the month of March so far, and like I say, it is running fairly warm compared to average. Let's look at the equatorial view. So this is looking at the map flat out. You can see here that the areas of cooler than average, parts of Alaska, parts of Western China, Mongolia, in the northern portions of India, Tibetan Plateau, we've got a slightly colder than average, Pakistan, parts of eastern Iran, northern Australia, parts of western Australia. We've got colder than average across the western lower 48. Southern portions of Argentina and Chile is slightly colder than average, but with the warmth is far outweighing the cold. There's no getting away from that. And you can have, everybody's got their own opinion with regards to why, but we are certainly seeing this continuation of ongoing global warmth at the moment here. So let's have a look at North America and see what the temperature anomalies are. So this is North America, Greenland, warmer than average. We've got parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan below average. We've also got parts of the western United States below average as well. Looking at Europe, again, same story here. The question is, we've got cold and average conditions now ongoing, and what impact the next week or so, the final week of March, is going to do on the anomaly. I don't think it's going to have much impact. I think it would have to be brutally cold to end the month of March, and it really isn't overly cold, so therefore it's not going to have any impact. We're firmly warmer than average almost completely across the continent of Europe at this moment in time. and there is not really much change on offer. This is Africa. The majority of Africa is below average, above average. Sorry, talking nonsense. As you can see here, looking at Asia, interesting stuff here. That the core of the coldest conditions in the last few weeks has been actually over parts of China, northern India, Pakistan, up into all the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. These places have been pretty cold in recent times, actually. But you notice down across Southeastern Asia, so Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, firmly warmer than average. And we've just seen one record after another falling in parts of Southeastern Asia in recent times. This is the current temperatures, by the way, at the time of the recording here across Europe. You can see here that it's neither really warm or cold. Now, we've got some quite warm conditions down across Spain and Portugal at the moment, if you notice here. In recent times, I think yesterday was seen a temperature of 33 Celsius in parts of Iberia, so very warm compared to average. We've also seen some pretty hot conditions. The easterly Kalima wind blowing off Africa, places such as Agadir in Morocco, mid 30s, and then we had very warm conditions then move across the Canaries, bringing some very warm conditions in the last few days. But then we've had that storm system move south, bringing rain, hail, high wind, and also snow up over the Mount Teede, which is the highest elevation within the Canary Islands. Looking at the UK temperatures honing in, and you can see that we've got some relatively cool conditions. I say relatively cool because it's not overly cold, but you notice here we've got a plus 11 at Glasgow Airport. Up here, my nearest station is Tain 7.2. We've only got 5.9 at Loch Lascarnock, so relatively cooler up here. And exposure in the breeze, it feels a little bit chillier. Down across the south of the British Isles, we've got the temperatures of 14 Celsius at St James's Park at the moment here. Generally, anywhere between 11 and 13 Celsius quite widely through the Midlands and in the southern portions of the UK. East Anglia seeing 10, 11 Celsius. Across to our friends in the Republic of Ireland here, anybody in Ireland, very warm welcome to you. We've only got a 6 here in parts of the Western Republic of Ireland here. We've got 11s across the south and up across parts of Northern Ireland here, Belfast. This is, I think, the city airport at 12 Celsius at the moment here. 10s and 11s here generally. If you factor in the wind at the moment, this is the current rail field temperature, so the wind chill. You can see here it's feeling rather raw at Loch Lascarnock of only 3 Celsius at the moment here. But down across the more southern areas, the wind chill, there's probably a little bit less wind further south actually, which means that the temperature and the wind is not making a huge difference. So let's have a look and see what is going on. So the Canary Islands, like I said, the warmest winter on record. This is a tweet by the BBC. The Canary Islands are in drought and recorded only 36 millimeters of rain over the winter, less than a third of average. So remember, once we start to enter this time of the year, the subtropical high sits almost bang slap overhead. Therefore, we have less and less opportunity for rain in this region of the world as we move through into April, May, June, July, August, September. Quite often you get very little, if any, rain. So therefore, a dry winter can lead to a worsening situation. I know there's a water restrictions through many parts of the Canaries, including a water emergency in the island of Tenerife at the moment, which is concerning. So that's quite serious. This is a tweet here by Richard Trott. He sent me this graphic a wee while ago. This is the upper air pattern between the 1st of December and the 29th of February. And you can see the reason why there's been drought and warmer than average conditions in the Canary Islands. Because look at the region here. This is the Canaries, just off the west coast of Africa. I know this is hard to see, and I do apologise, by the way, for that. But you notice here that we have got a stronger than average high pressure system almost bang slap over the northwest of Africa and parts of Iberia. We've also got severe drought in Catalonia in the northeast of Spain at the moment, and that is going to be a concern, especially as we move into the drier months of April, May, June, July, August. Typically, very similar climate actually to California in terms of very little in the way of rainfall. And this is a closer up view actually of that strong positive. So this is the anomaly, remember, between the 1st of December and the 29th of February. So this is meteorological winter, and you can see the reason why drought and heat has been a significant problem. So we continue to look on. This is a snowfall. This is snow depth, by the way, for Anchorage, Alaska. And this is an article, by the way, of Weather Nation, the website Weather Nation. And you can see here the article, it represents that Anchorage, Alaska is on track for the snowiest winter ever. So this is from Spencer Glacier. And this is actually like, it looks like a hut. Let me see if I can get the adverts of this. Isn't that a fantastic image? Wouldn't it be amazing to have that kind of snow here in the UK? Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case for quite some time. But this article basically goes on to show Anchorage's snowiest winters. And remember that they can still get snow over the next few weeks up here in Anchorage, southern Alaska. So the snowiest winter of all time in Anchorage was actually the winter of 2011-2012, where there was 134.5 inches of snow fell. And then it's basically the winter just gone is sitting in fourth place at 123.4 inches. So it's sitting at just over 10 inches below the record. And I think there is snow in the forecast for Anchorage in the coming days to come. So it'll be interesting to see whether Anchorage can actually record its snowiest conditions in recorded history. Back actually, sorry, I actually was meaning to show you this chart here. This is the GFS model for the Northern Africa and Southern Europe, and you can see here the unsettled conditions across southern portions of Europe. There's that system. So the Canary Islands, again, very, very difficult to see. Unfortunately, I don't think I can make it bigger. I need to work on that actually, because somebody had said to me a couple of days ago that you can make these charts bigger, and I'm going to try and do that actually, because I really do want people to be able to see what's going on. There's 37 concurrent viewers at the moment. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've just joined us, like the video, let YouTube know that you're enjoying the content. Also, it lets me know that you're enjoying the content as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Lots of exciting things to come in the days, weeks, and even months ahead. Looking at things that perhaps you're not seeing elsewhere on other weather channels. That is my kind of goal, to try and show you something a little bit more unique and whatnot. So you can see here, this is the unsettled conditions. That area of low pressure sitting over northern portions of Morocco at the moment. We've had heavy rainfall, we've had some flooding, we've had heavy hailstones, and also snow over the top of Mount Teide in Tenerife in recent times. That is the first snow this entire year. And winter just gone. There was no recorded snow on Teide for the first time since 1916 during the past winter. But you can see here the unsettled conditions, and as we play through the next wee while, what we are going to actually see is some fairly cold northwesterly winds digging in. So we're actually going to see more unsettled conditions and also unusually cold conditions down across the Canaries in the upcoming week here. If we look at the 850 temperatures, you can see the colder than average temperatures digging in. So those lighter greens and darker greens here representing unusually cool air moving into this region here. So this is going to be a shock to the system, especially for residents that have just seen the warmest winter on record in the Canaries. If we look at the temperature anomaly chart, this is off the GFS, by the way, the operation. So this is the latest run, and you can see here, if it's going to load for me, you'll be able to see that the temperatures are colder than average. Is it going to show me? It doesn't look as if it's going to. We'll go back to that in just a second here and see if it's going to appear or not. Going on to South America, and this was the time that we've seen a 62.3 Celsius heat index. So that's the combination of humidity within the air and the actual air temperature. I think the air temperature was close to 37, 38 degrees, but then factoring in the level of humidity, there was a record breaking heat wave that's been ongoing through much of the summer down here in South America. And the heat index reached a staggering 62.3 or 144.14 Fahrenheit. So remarkable stuff. Deadly heat down in South America, and that has been the case across many countries in South America in recent times. Let's finally look at Thierry Goose's tweet here. This is for Spain, and I believe this was a tweet yesterday. No, it's going back to I think the 22nd of March. In addition to the record heat in Spain yesterday, and Portugal also had a record high of 31.5 degrees Celsius at Ponte de Lima, and this is only zero point 0.1 below the March national record set in Portugal back in 2005, and also recorded a minimum temperature of 20.9, which is very warm for the month of March in anywhere in Iberia. So there has been some pretty significant levels of warmth, and I think we are going to see in the coming weeks to come, because of the drought, we are probably going to see record breaking heat off and on over the next several months. April, wouldn't be surprised if we set a new April record down in Iberia, either Spain or Portugal, down into Morocco, for example. With that drought conditions in place and the natural strengthening of the subtropical high, and when you factor in a drier than average winter, that high can actually be stronger than what would typically be the case due to the feedback between soil and atmosphere, as already explained. Looking at other parts of the world, Guatemala, Colombia, Brazil, you know, this region of the world has just been incredible in terms of record breaking heat. And this is likely a direct influence of that El Nino that we've seen. And we're seeing it quickly drop off, weakening in the coming weeks to come. And we're going to reverse those warmer than average waters in the eastern equatorial Pacific with colder than average waters, and we will see what influence that may have. I expect to see Indonesia, parts of Australia. Yes, we're going into the winter season, but I would expect to see wetter and cooler than average conditions now start to set in as those water temperatures reverse within the tropical Pacific. Also, we're seeing changes in the Indian Ocean as well here. So let's quickly skip through, and then we are actually going to round up because the time is getting on. Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend here. This is an interesting one here. Cold snap in the mountains of New South Wales, Australia, with a minimum temperature in Perisher Valley. I hope that's the pronunciation. Minus 5.7 in New South Wales. This is an elevation of 1,738 meters above sea level. It's only 1.5 above the March national record low. We also seen a temperature of minus 4.4 at one particular station, just under 2,000 meters above sea level here. Quite interesting. So early season cold in parts of southern and southeastern Australia in the last few days here. Ongoing record heat wave in parts of South Africa. Yesterday we had temperatures as high as 45 degrees Celsius. That is from a few. That's actually from the 20th of March. Continuing to skip through, just seeing if there's anything of note to speak about. Then I will go into the live chat and finish things off here. Very good afternoon to Gavin Partridge. Thanks very much, Gavin, for tuning in. I do apologise, by the way, Gavin, because I actually didn't get to check out your live stream either on Wednesday, and I think you maybe had one on Friday night as usual as well. So I do apologise, my friend, for not being able to check out your live stream. Also, a very warm welcome to Matthew Orchard. I think, Matthew, you're just tuning in. If I've already said hello to you, I do apologise. A very warm welcome to Luli McKenna as well. Thank you very much, Luli, for taking the time out of your day. I do apologise if that is also a wrong pronunciation. That is one thing I'm always a little bit nervous with, especially with live streams. You don't get an opportunity to correct if you get a pronunciation wrong. So I hope that is the right pronunciation. But 41 concurrent viewers. Wow. Thank you very much. This is a relatively quiet time of the year now, so I do greatly appreciate it. I'm glad to get these live streams up and running, by the way, and I'm really looking forward to it once we get closer to the summertime and also next winter, because I think these live streams are going to really take off. Uh, Let me know as well if you're enjoying them. It is a relatively new feature. It is a Sunday afternoon thing, 4 p.m. every Sunday afternoon, the live stream. So I hope you're uh, enjoying the content and listening to my waffle. So let me just quickly check to see if there's anything else of note, and then I'm going to round things up. Some pretty warm conditions actually across Washington State. This is going back now to the 17th of March, so this is going back quite a while here. I think I've kind of covered most things. Let's have a quick look at the live chat. Just quickly shout out anybody that hasn't had a hello so far. But yeah, plenty of things coming up in the days and weeks to come. So I'm pretty excited to release the summer forecast. Do I know exactly what's going to happen yet? I'm not entirely sure. I'm still building the ideas. It's going to be interesting to see how much the pattern evolves during the month of April. I think we could have a relatively cool but also wet April. There might be opportunities of seeing some warmer temperatures as well, especially if we've got that stronger than average high pressure further south, maybe trying to nudge its way northwards. But it looks as if the stratospheric warming and that MJO, that Madden-Julian oscillation, phase 7 into 8, that tends to promote blocking to the north, and therefore we have the opportunity to see more wet weather into places such as Iberia and into northwestern Africa, including the Canary Islands. Are you visiting the Canary Islands for the Easter weekend, for example? Are you going to be looking at a trip this upcoming summer to the Canaries? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll even try and address a few questions as well here. Real quick, this is an interesting one. This is the next 30 days of the ECMWF extended. This is the mean sea level pressure anomaly, and this is why we may have a relatively cool and wet April coming up. Now, notice here that we've got a lot of positives here across the north. We've got the deep negative over the UK and Ireland. That then tells me that we've got wetter than average conditions further south. So places such as Scotland, Northern Ireland, we may actually see drier than average conditions. But down across southern UK, Ireland, into Iberia, even into northwestern Africa, we may have a cooler and wetter month of April due to the blocking across the top here. So it'll be interesting to see what takes place. So this is the mean sea level pressure. Let's have a quick look and see what the temperature anomaly is looking like for the upcoming 30-day period. So this is obviously the whole 30-day period. And you can see here that most of the United States is actually cooler than average, warmer than average across Alaska, northern Canada, the Canadian archipelago, also Greenland, warmer than average. That is because we've got the model indicating blocking across the north, and that is the byproduct of the stratospheric warming and possibly the phase 7-8 of the MJO. Let's look at Europe. So this is obviously the ECMWF extended, and it's showing below average temperatures for the next 30 days. Quickly looking at the anomaly for the 7-day increment. So this is the upcoming 7 days, cooler than average, with a chance of seeing snow. So by the way, check out the videos in the coming days to come, because we're going to look at snow prospects, most likely over high ground of Wales, Northern England, and Scotland here, but we may get a mix, especially during the overnight period. As the column cools, we may get a chance to see snow even down to lower levels. So check out the videos in the next few days, because we're going to look at that specifically. So we play through the loop of the model. You can see here that we have a little bit of moderation across southeastern UK as we move between the period 29th of March, 5th of April. So slightly less cold conditions, and then you notice here the model has the colder than average then maintaining itself, and this takes us all the way out to the middle portions of April. What is going to be interesting is, even if we get a cold first half of April, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole month is going to be below average, because we might actually get a pullback of the block into the north and we start to warm things up. But it'll be interesting to see nonetheless what takes place. I'm quickly approaching 4:45, so I'm going to round up. A big, huge thank you to everybody for checking out today's Global Weather and Climate Report. I hope you've enjoyed the content today, and I will try and answer some of the questions. Even looking back at the live stream, I may try, and if I've missed, I'll look through the comments and I'll see if I can find any that I haven't seen, and I'll try and address that comment or question, whatever it may be. So thank you very much for checking out today's live stream. I do greatly appreciate it, as I've already said, probably 1,000 times already. But you get what I mean anyway. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will hopefully be back, all being well, next Sunday afternoon, which is Easter Sunday, and we'll look at more global weather as well. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you then. But obviously, plenty of content coming up in the next few days, so check that out. Like, share, and subscribe.